The story begins at Guarulhos International Airport, Sao Paulo. Airplanes roar in the background, boarding announcements over the loudspeakers. A young, elegantly dressed woman, Marina, 25, confronts her boyfriend, Rafael, 26, who is dressed in simple clothes and carrying an old suitcase. Marina, please don't do this. I love you. This opportunity in London could change our lives. No, Rafael, I've already made my decision. Look at you, look at me. We're going in different directions. You're going to London with a scholarship that barely covers your expenses, while I have opportunities here. My father is right. It won't work out. Is it because of the money? Is that it? You know I'm trying hard. This postgraduate degree will open doors. It's not just that. It's everything, you know? You live in this world of dreams, of projects that never come to fruition. I'm tired of waiting. And yes, it's also about money. I'm tired of splitting the bill, of having to choose cheap restaurants, of not being able to travel like my friends do with their boyfriends. I never hid my financial situation from you. When we met in college, we were students, Rafael. Now we are adults. The real world works differently. Look, let's stop here. I'm not going with you, and I don't want you to come back because of me. It's over. Marina hands over the ticket Rafael had bought for her, turns her back and walks away, the sound of her heels echoing on the airport floor. Rafael stands there, devastated, holding the rejected ticket, as the last call for his flight echoes over the loudspeakers. Flight 732 to London. Last call for boarding at gate 15. Rafael looks at Marina's ticket in his hand, then at the direction she left, takes a deep breath and walks slowly towards the boarding gate. 7 years later, the setting is now the sophisticated Skyview restaurant, on the top floor of an executive building in Sao Paulo. It is night. The city lights shine through the glass wall. Rafael, now 33, is sitting alone at a table. He is well-dressed in a well-cut suit. He discreetly checks his watch as a waiter approaches. Would you like anything else while you wait, sir? No, thank you. My client should be arriving any moment. The waiter walks away. Rafael checks his phone, quickly reading some emails. The restaurant door opens and he looks up, expecting to see his client. But what comes in is Marina, more mature and even more elegant, accompanied by an important-looking middle-aged man. Rafael freezes when he sees her after so many years. Marina and her companion are shown to a table not far away. She hasn't noticed Rafael yet. He tries to turn his attention back to his phone, but his eyes inevitably drift to her. Finally, their gazes meet. Marina is visibly surprised, hesitates for a moment, then mutters something to her companion, and heads towards Rafael's table. Rafael? Is that really you? Hello, Marina. Long time no see. 7 years, right? You went back to Brazil. 2 years ago, actually. A moment of uncomfortable silence. Are you okay? You seem different. I am. London has been good to me. And how are you? Well, very well. That's my boss. We're at a business dinner. I see. I'm also waiting for a client. And what do you do now? I have a technology innovation consultancy. After my PhD in London, I worked for a few companies until I opened my own business. Marina looks genuinely impressed. PhD? Your own business? Wow. Things have really changed. Yes, they've changed. Life goes on, doesn't it? Marina's companion makes a discreet gesture indicating that he needs her. I need to go back. It was good to see you, Rafael. Likewise, Marina. Marina hesitates, as if she wants to say something more, but just smiles briefly and returns to her desk. Rafael watches her walk away, then picks up his phone and quickly types a message canceling his appointment. When he looks back up, Marina is engaged in a seemingly tense conversation with her boss. She looks uncomfortable. The night progresses. Marina's boss gets up to take a call outside the restaurant. At that moment, she looks at Rafael, who is still there, now drinking a coffee. Their eyes meet again, and after a moment of hesitation, she heads to his table. Your client didn't come? He canceled at the last minute. And your boss? Answering a call. It'll probably take a while. He always does that. Do you want to sit down for a bit? Marina looks at the door, then at the empty chair. Just for a moment, she sits down. There's an initial silence, fraught with 7 years of absence. So, how was London? Really? Raphael smiles slightly. At first, it was hard. Really hard. I was broke, not just financially. Raphael, about that day at the airport, no need to explain. You were honest, at least. I was cruel. I was young and foolish. I was listening too much to my father, letting other people's expectations define my choices. And now, Marina sighs, looking at the city skyline. Now I work 16 hours a day to prove my worth in a company that doesn't care about me. I have the expensive car, the apartment in the posh area, the designer clothes, and I have dinner with a boss who can't keep his eyes on my face during a conversation. Raphael observes Marina for a moment. It looks like you got everything you wanted. Everything I thought I wanted. What about you? Did you get what you wanted? Not exactly. I wanted to change the world with my ideas. I ended up discovering that the world is more complicated than I thought in college. But I found my way. I work with things I believe in, with people I respect. And is there anyone? In your life, I've had a few relationships. Nothing that lasted. What about you? A disastrous engagement 3 years ago. We broke up before the wedding. Thankfully, Marina's phone vibrates. She checks a message. My boss is coming back. I understand. Marina stands up, but doesn't walk away immediately. It was really good to see you, Raphael. Likewise, Marina. She takes a few steps, stops, and turns to him. Can we grab a coffee sometime? To really catch up? Raphael seemed surprised by the invitation. Sure. My number is still the same. Mine changed. Can I write it down for you? Raphael hands her his phone, and she adds his number. When he hands it back, their fingers briefly touch. See you soon, then? See you soon, Marina. She smiles, a genuine smile this time, and returns to her desk just in time to greet her returning boss. 2 days later, in a cozy coffee shop in the city center, Raphael is sitting at a table near the window, watching the hustle and bustle of the street as he waits. Marina enters, now dressed more casually but still elegantly. He stands up to greet her. I thought maybe you wouldn't come. Why wouldn't you come? I don't know. Maybe I would rethink it. I would think it wouldn't be worth revisiting the past. Marina sits down, placing her bag on the chair next to her. Actually, I thought about it, but I realized that I need to face some things. Starting with what I did to you. Marina, I already said you don't need to. Yes, I do, Raphael. I need to say that I'm sorry. For the way I ended it. For the things I said. You didn't deserve that. We were young. You were right about a lot of things. I lived in a dream world. Marina takes a sip of the coffee the waiter just brought. And now, it seems, you have turned those dreams into reality. Tell me about London, about how you got here. Raphael takes a deep breath, as if organizing a long story. Well, the first few months were the worst. I shared a tiny apartment with 3 other foreign students and worked part-time in a coffee shop near the university. It was a tough time, but university broadened my horizons. I met interesting people and brilliant professors. In my second year, I developed a research project that caught the attention of a technology company. They offered me an internship, which later turned into a job. I worked there for 3 years, saved every penny, and learned everything I could. And when did you decide to come back? I received an invitation from a former Brazilian colleague who was also in London. He had returned a year earlier and was putting together a team for an ambitious project here. I thought it was time to bring what I had learned home. We came with a business plan, found investors, and here I am. Impressive. I always knew you were intelligent, but I confess I never imagined that I would be successful. Marina looks down, embarrassed. That's not what I meant. Okay, I understand. I doubted myself sometimes. But I think that day at the airport sparked something in me. A determination I didn't know I had. So should I get some credit for your success? She says this jokingly, but there's an underlying seriousness to question. Maybe. Sometimes we need to lose something important to find our way. Marina looks at her cup, thoughtfully. And what did I miss, Raphael? Besides the obvious. Only you can answer that. She stares at him for a long moment. The chance to discover who I could be without the expectations of others. Raphael smiles, understanding. It's never too late for that. For some things, maybe it is. They share a meaningful look. Raphael breaks the mood by checking his watch. I have to go. I have a meeting in an hour. Sure, I understand. I have to get back to the office, too. They stand up. Raphael pays the bill despite Marina's protests. On the sidewalk in front of the coffee shop, there's a moment of hesitation. It was nice talking to you, Marina. Really, can we do this again? Raphael seems taken by surprise by the invitation. He is sure? I have. If you want, of course. I would like to. Very much. So shall I call you? I'll be waiting. They kiss each other goodbye on the cheek, lingering a little longer than necessary. They each go their separate ways, but both turn to look at each other one last time before disappearing into the crowd. In the following weeks, Raphael and Marina meet several times. First, to a park for a Sunday walk. So, an art exhibition, a casual dinner, a cinema. Gradually, the initial tension gives way to a renewed familiarity, but different from what they had before. One night, after leaving a concert, they walk side by side through a lit-up square. You know what's funny? Says Marina. We're getting to know each other again, but it's like we've never really met before. Like this? Before we were what we thought we should be. You, the idealistic student. Me, the ambitious girl concerned with status. Now, it seems we are finally ourselves. And who are you now, Marina? Really? She stops walking, pondering the question. Someone who realized that they achieved everything they thought they wanted and still don't feel fulfilled. Someone who is beginning to question every choice he's made in the last 7 years. And what do you think would make you feel fulfilled? I'm not sure yet, but I do know that it's not about spending my life trying to impress people who don't care about me. Maybe doing something that actually matters. Like what? Remember that social project I mentioned in college? Working with education in underprivileged communities? I remember you talking about it with such enthusiasm. You even offered tutoring for a while. Yes, I left when I started an internship at my father's friend's company. More prestige, better for the resume, according to him. What if you took it up again now? Marina smiles, as if the idea has just turned on a light inside her. You know, I've been thinking about this. There's an NGO near my apartment. I walked by the other day and picked up a flyer. They need volunteers. And what are you waiting for? Courage, I think. Afraid of what my parents will say, of what they will think at work if I start putting in less overtime. Does what they think really matter that much? Marina looks at Raphael, then at the night sky. It used to matter. Now less and less. They continue walking, closer now. Their hands touch lightly, almost by accident. Neither of them pulls away. And you, Raphael? Are you happy with your choices? Mostly. I built something I'm proud of. I'm doing work that I think is important. But, sometimes I wonder if I haven't spent too much time on my career. If I haven't missed other important things along the way. Like what? Royal connections. Family, maybe. They come to a small fountain in the center of the square. The water sparkles under the lights. Raphael stops walking and turns to Marina. These last few days, I've been thinking a lot about what I left behind. What could have been? Marina holds his gaze. Me too. Marina, She places a finger gently over his lips. Don't say anything yet. We're fine like this, rediscovering who we are. I don't want to rush things and ruin everything again. Raphael nods in agreement. They continue walking, now holding hands, in no rush to get anywhere. 2 weeks later. Raphael's office is modern, with glass walls and a view of the city. He's on a video conference when his assistant, Denise, knocks on the door. Sorry to interrupt, Raphael, but there's a lady at reception insisting on speaking to you. She says it's urgent. Ma'am? Who is it? Helena Montero. She said she is Marina Montero's mother. Raphael looks confused and worried. Can you tell her I'm finishing, please? And ask her to wait. Minutes later, Raphael receives Helena in his office. She is an elegant woman, about 60 years old, with a severe expression. Mrs. Montero, what do I owe the visit to? I came straight to the point, Mr. Raphael. I want you to stay away from my daughter. Raphael is surprised by the frankness. Forgiveness? Don't act like you don't understand. I know you've been seeing each other. Marina is confused, making impulsive decisions, questioning her career. And it all started after you reappeared. With all due respect, Marina is a grown woman. Her decisions are her own. You don't understand. We worked hard to build her future. I sacrificed a lot so she could have the best opportunities. And now she's talking about cutting back on her work hours to dedicate herself to some philanthropic project. She even mentioned leaving her job to pursue a master's degree in education. That's your influence. Or maybe that's just what she really wants. Helena approaches. Intimidating. What do you want with my daughter? Revenge? Is that it? To make her give up everything she has achieved because she rejected you years ago? Raphael remains calm, but his voice is firm. I have no interest in taking revenge on anyone. And it seems to me that the problem is not what I want with Marina, but what you want from her. I want the best for my daughter, what you think is best. But have you stopped to ask her what she really wants? Helena seems momentarily disarmed by this question. Of course I know what my daughter wants. I'm her mother. With all due respect, Mrs. Helena, Marina has changed. We all have. And maybe it's time to let her choose her own path. Helena regains her composure, grabbing her bag and standing up. You've always had this gift of appearing noble, haven't you? But don't fool me. I know exactly the kind of man you are. And what type would that be? The guy who had nothing to offer my daughter 7 years ago and who has now returned because he finally has something to show off. Raphael gets up too, still calm. I'm not trying to prove anything to anyone, Mrs. Helena. Especially not to you or your husband. Stay away from my daughter. She was finally on the right path until you showed up. That's her decision, not mine. And certainly not yours. Helena leaves the room without saying goodbye. Raphael stands still for a moment, absorbing what just happened, then picks up the phone. That night, Marina and Raphael meet in a small restaurant far from the center. My mom went to your office? I can't believe she did that. Calm down, Marina. She's worried in her own way. No, she's controlling, like she always has. My God, how embarrassing. There's no need to be ashamed. Parents care. That's not worry, Raphael. It's control. It always has been. For years, I believed they knew what was best for me. I followed the path they laid out. The right college, the right job, the right friends, the right boyfriends, and the wrong boyfriend. Me. Marina looks deeply into his eyes. Maybe you were the only one who was right. The only one who saw who I really was. Or could be. Raphael reaches across the table and touches her fingers lightly. It's not too late, Marina. For us? Or for me? For both, perhaps. Marina intertwines her fingers with his. I made a decision today. I'm going to start volunteering at that NGO. Only on Saturdays. For now. I'm also researching master's programs. And how do you feel? Scared. Excited. Free. Your parents will understand. Eventually. Maybe, maybe not. But I can no longer live my life to please them. Raphael smiles, proudly. I knew you would find your way. Funny you should say that. Why? Because I think I lost my way when I left you at that airport. And I'm only now starting to find it again. Raphael watches her for a long moment. Marina, there's something I need to tell you. What? That day at the airport, you hurt me deeply. For a long time, I carried that hurt with me. Part of my motivation for achieving everything I've achieved was to prove you wrong about me. Marina looks down, embarrassed. I figured that. But while I was working, studying, building my career, something strange happened. The hurt was disappearing. And in its place was longing of what we had, of what we could have been. Raphael, no, let me finish. When I saw you in that restaurant, all those emotions came rushing back. Anger, hurt, longing, affection. It was confusing. And these weeks with you have been like an emotional roller coaster. But now I know one thing for sure. What? That I never stopped loving you, even when I wanted to hate you. Marina has tears in her eyes now. I never stopped loving you either, even when you tried to convince me otherwise. Raphael stands up, walks around the table, and kneels next to Marina, holding her hands. I don't want to waste any more time. Marina, I don't know what the future holds for us, but I know I want to find out by your side. I want that too, more than anything. They kiss, a long, deep kiss, years of absence and longing dissolving in a single moment. 3 months later, a small classroom in a community on the outskirts of Sao Paulo. Marina is standing in front of a group of teenagers, explaining mathematical concepts. She looks different. Simpler clothes, her hair tied up, but there's a sparkle in her eyes that wasn't there before. Raphael watches from the doorway, without her seeing him. The class ends, the students leave, and only then does Marina notice Raphael. How long have you been there? Long enough to be impressed. You're a great teacher. Marina smiles, putting away her materials. I'm still learning, but I've never felt so accomplished. And at work, how are things? Tense. I reduced my workload to study for my master's degree. My boss didn't like it, but I managed to negotiate. I don't know how long I'll be able to balance everything, but for now it's working. And your parents? Marina sighs. My dad still doesn't talk to me properly. My mom. We're starting to have real conversations for the first time in years. It's hard, but we're trying. Raphael approaches, hugs Marina from behind as she finishes organizing her books. I have a surprise for you. What is it? Raphael takes an envelope out of his pocket and hands it to her. Marina opens it and finds 2 plane tickets. London? I thought it would be meaningful. To go back to where it all began and ended. To start over from there. Marina turns to face him, moved. It's perfect. And there's one more thing. Raphael kneels down and takes a small box out of his pocket. Marina puts her hands to her mouth, surprised. Marina, 7 years ago, at that airport, I thought I had lost everything. But now I see that it was just the beginning of a journey that brought us here. A journey that proved that some things are too strong to be broken, even by time or distance. I love you, more than I did 7 years ago, because now I love you for who you are, not for who I imagined you to be. Will you marry me? Marina has tears streaming down her face. Yes, Raphael. Yes, 1,000 times yes. He puts the ring on her finger, stands up and kisses her. When they separate, Marina looks at the ring, then at him. You know my parents are going to go crazy, don't you? I'm counting on it. They laugh together, hugging each other in the middle of the small, empty classroom, with the afternoon sun streaming in through the windows. I don't know what the future holds for us, Raphael, but I know I want to build it with you. Not the future others have planned for me, but our future. Together. The scenery slowly fades away, leaving the 2 of them embraced, planning a future that ultimately belongs only to them. Yendi,